Yesterday, I went to traditional Latin Mass in Galway. I was a bit unnerved by what was happening in the cathedral on Saturday evening. I just needed something I just needed something reverent on a Sunday, and so I drove down with my nephew to Galway. And afterwards, we went for a pizza, and I went into Charlie Byrne's bookstore in Galway. People don't know it. It has a lot of in there. You can get a traditional breviary in Latin. I've bought a few books in there, but there was a book that caught my eye, and it was called "The Defenders of Our Faith," and it's a book from the United States, and I'll just show you here. Printed in Pope Leo XIII was the Pope when this was published, and it was published in 1886. And the imprimatur was Bishop Michael Corrigan, Archbishop of New York. And it has, all the different bishops that were in America at the time. These were the defenders of the faith. They got together and they wrote this book, and it has different topics on it. It's a whole catechism. I mean, they talk about the Baltimore. What came from Baltimore. I don't know if the Baltimore Catechism was written then, but this was certainly something that they were talking about. The defenders of our faith, their noble work, unfaltering devotion, and great sacrifices and great achievements. And it just, it's a historical book, and it goes on to talk about how these bishops defended their faith. I mean, obviously people need to put this into context. Catholics were a minority in America at that time, so they would have had to have defended their faith against their in the face of what was growing different Protestant movements in America, Baptists and so forth. And this was the time when the Mormons were getting going, and Jehovah's Witnesses. It's an interesting time in American history. I suppose the book was lying there, and the title really caught my eye. The Defenders of Our Faith. The cover is worn, but you would have had Christ here, Our Lady here. And what did it say? What was the and I say, I can't read I say I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Okay. I mean, when we look around Ireland today, I don't think America is much better. Can we say that these bishops are defending our faith? Can we actually say that Irish bishops defend the Catholic faith? I mean, our local bishop here will allow mindfulness, and people will criticize me, but mindfulness is nice, Robert. What have you got against mindfulness? It's a good coping technique. Okay, but you've got hotels all around Ballina where you can go and offer your mindfulness services. Why do we always have to capitulate in the Catholic Church to courses and stuff that isn't Catholic, that comes from another religion? And we're putting into practice techniques from other religion, but we can't even put into practice Catholic techniques of prayer, of meditation. What happened to our defenders of the faith? It's like the Holy Spirit is leaving the book there. Maybe, Robert, you could drive some awareness that my bishops should defend my church and my faith. They're silent. You'll get the odd time one Irish bishop might speak up. I mean, it's an interesting time in the church to see what is going on. We have 2,000 years of tradition and patrimony, and yet in 2022, there's practically silence when it comes to defending the Catholic faith, because it's not popular. It's not popular. If an Irish bishop came out and tried to defend the Catholic faith, he'd be poo-pooed down. Abuse scandal now. And you bishop, don't you go sticking your head above the water, because we've got a long list of stuff here that we're going to bash you with. This, that and the other. And the Catholic faith is beautiful if you actually know and love it, if you actually have a relationship with Christ. I do wonder how many Irish bishops actually know who Christ is and have a relationship with him. How many of them offer adoration every evening or lead people in their diocese in adoration every evening and have a relationship with the man that called them, that placed them in that position in the church to defend the faith? I don't know where we're going in the church. I just find it a very interesting time at the moment. But it's interesting when you look at the literature that was published by Catholics when they had to defend their faith. They had to know their faith. They had to. This book was written so that Catholics in America, which were probably many Irish that came over, which purely would have had a devotional faith. We remember, if you've seen that interview with a German Irishman, Sean Patrick Pokal, he mentioned that the Irish faith was very devotional, but we didn't know the faith. And the Germans, they knew the faith, but they didn't. They would have known the faith, but not have the devotional side. I suppose America was kind of the melting pot, and you had different Catholics coming over, and bishops had to stand up and actually teach what the faith was beyond the devotional side of it, because it's hard to defend a devotional style Catholicism in the face of a highly catechized biblical Protestant faith where people knew the Bible and in many times Catholics didn't. I think we're even worse off today, because in Ireland today Catholics neither have the devotional side, that's all gone, and they neither know the faith at the other side. We'll offer mindfulness. People will go to mediums, fortune tellers, Reiki, healing stones, this and that, every occult offering that the world has to have, and not understand that Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. He, is the fulfillment of all our desires, and he will lead us to heaven. It would be great to see. It would be great to see Irish bishops publishing a book like this, Defenders of the Faith, in 2022. I don't think they would be able to, in the sense, I don't think they have the organisation to actually do a work like this. But this was done in the late 1800s. The faith and its defenders. None of these men were perfect men. Nobody's perfect in the church. But it's trying to show people the great, the amazingness, the beautiful faith that we have. It's this effort that we need to put into renewing the faith. That's what's important in the church. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are our bishops the defenders of the faith? Seriously, ask yourselves, are our bishops the defenders of the faith? Or are they defending a traditional custard that, I don't know. We ask the questions when you can have mindfulness, when they don't fight for the sacraments, when they don't fight to even put holy water back in our cathedrals. Are they defending the faith? I don't know. Maybe they're defending something else. I don't know. It's an interesting time. Let me know what you think in the comments. But yeah, I suppose this video has been done by inspiration of the Holy Spirit. The defenders of our faith. Who are they? It seems like it's the laity these days. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye. Just an update on the a school that we're hoping to get into, the village where Father Francis Mugabe from Uganda is from. We're nearly 50% there with the funding for the well. And we're going to use the charity Wells of Life to construct the well and so we'll keep you updated. Here's a short video on what your donation can do for this project. And if you can't donate, please pray. Prayers work. Prayers work. You know, someday somebody who's about to buy their new Bugatti, instead of buying their new Bugatti, might give us a donation to get clean water into a village in Uganda. You don't know. So like and share this video. Please pray if you can. Thanks for any donation you're sending. It's very much appreciated. I'm very humbled with what we've done so far, and please help. Let's get a well into a village before Christmas in Africa if possible. Okay, God bless. Take care. Bye bye.
As we walked down to a well dedicated to the late mother of a good friend of mine, we came across this. Looks like a setup. This is what we found. These young children are coming to a well like this to get their supply of water for drinking, for cooking, for washing. This is what they survive on. Survival is the only word you can use for this. I've been shocked by what I see here. In Ireland we talk about 40 shades of green. Well, I want you to look at this water. There's 40 shades of green in here. It breaks my heart to see this. So this young man is going to fill this water and he's going to take it away. I don't know how far he has to go. Some people walk 5-7 miles with this water on their back. It's not easy. It's heavy. Some of us would give up on it. So the process, from what I can see, is they just clear away the debris, the filth that's on top of it, to try and get at the water below it so they're not taking in all the muck that's on top of it to take home for their families. 1 in 5 people here die from drinking water just like this. 1 in 5, 20%. We can't allow this to continue. Can't allow this to go on. Somebody has to do something. We're trying to do it here. I'm asking you to join with us. Come and help us fight this, so that no child like this, or this young man alongside of me, has to go through this as part of their daily routine. Yeah, they're still going to have to go a long way with the water, but at least when they get home, they'll have clean water. It will have come from a well that you'll see up here in a moment, where we process the water, it's clean, they'll take it home and have some chance of some bit of life. This hardship has to stop. I can't believe what I've seen here today. So come with us, join us, help Wells of Life Ireland, to help Wells of Life USA, to give clean water to young children like this, so that these guys, their brothers, their sisters, their infant babies at home, may have a life and a chance. So I'm here today as a trustee of Wells of Life Ireland. Special well here, dedicated to the mother of the founder of Wells of Life, Nick Jordan. And I was honoured to be part of the group that made a contribution to this. So in a special way I feel my own little connection to this well as well as a connection to the Jordan family, who have been good friends over the years. But for the people here, there's a much bigger connection. There's a connection between the death that lies down there and the life that we can bring them by the clean water that we're able to provide here. Clean water comes from this well that has been funded through the generosity of a number of donors in honour of Margaret Jordan, mother of Nick. And this clean water has changed the lives of these people. What a legacy to leave for somebody. That in passing on to another world, somebody can give life and live on to the extended lives of this community, and the lives that will be saved from not having to drink the awful water that we got or saw in the well down here, to the clean water we're seeing in this well here. But it's just not the water, it's the hardship that goes with it. The water is carried, this is like the signature tune or a signature symbol of our journey here. These yellow cans, these jerry cans, can be seen all over Uganda, and people walk miles and miles and miles to fill them. So a can like this, when it's full, will weigh maybe 20 kilos, maybe 25 kilos. And children as young as the young people around me here walk up, and you don't have any idea of what it took to walk down here. We walked down a terrible incline. They'll walk up that incline again on the way home. Some of them walking 3, 4, 5 miles with this water that weighs 45. You're thinking I'm strong, this is empty. Here's the full one. And I'm telling you, I am struggling to lift this. This is clean water. Water isn't scarce here, there's plenty of it. I don't mind spilling a bit. But this is the supply they're drinking. This is what we can give them. 1,000 to 1,500 people from one well can have clean water. Work it out, it costs €5,000. It's about a fiver, £1 per life to save, for life to improve. You can do this, you can be part of it. I'm pleading with you to come and join us on this journey to bring clean water to people like these and so many other communities around. It's heartbreaking for us to come to these communities and find their biggest need is another well, so they don't have to walk 3, 4, 5 miles. We can put one down the road at a source just like this, where there is also clean water available, but just don't have the means to do it. Earlier today we were at another well. The community had gathered from knocking door to door, and I use the word door loosely. They had gathered the equivalent of about $15, and it was everything they had just to maintain the wells. They want to do it, they're able to do it, we just need a hand. So I'm asking you to reach out to them, put your hand out and lift somebody out of holes like this to give them an opportunity to have something like this. Please come with us on this journey. €5 per life. Gather together with your friends, talk to your neighbours, it's your community, maybe it's your local school, it's your church, it's your workplace, it's your office, it's your gym club, it's wherever. It doesn't matter. We will take money from anybody if it saves lives for people like this. Come with us on the journey.